I have my final 5 that we ask every guest who's ever been on the show on their first time on the show.
Great.
So this is a rapid fire fast 5, which means the questions can only be answered in 1 word to 1 sentence maximum.
Whoa, okay.
There are people who follow the rules, and there's nothing to win apart from my validation. But there's some people that do it perfectly, and there's some people that go off piste. I would prefer that we keep it tight because it's part of it. It makes them fun. Okay, and whoever goes first doesn't matter. We can do back and forth on each question. All right, the first question is, what is the best advice you've ever received, heard, or given?
There's room for everyone.
Oh,
Chelsea Handler told me that.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
one of my first days of work. Oh, that's too much. Sorry.
No, that's perfect. No, that was a great answer. No. If I keep nodding, like, oh, that's good. Yeah. It's like
there's room for everyone.
That's cool.
Prioritize the inner life. My mom taught me that.
I love that. Both great answers. Very tight and very precise. Makes a lot of sense. All right. Second question. What is the worst advice you've ever heard or received?
If he loved me, he would.
Because? I'm going to ask you to complete that for me.
If he loved me, he would. We always say if somebody loves you enough, they will do anything and everything. And I think that's just not, it's such an unrealistic expectation that we've been told for years and years and years. And I think it's problematic.
That's huge. Love that one. Got another episode on that. All right, Raquelle.
Right before I moved to LA 12 years ago, I was living in Chicago, and someone said to me, "You're meant to stay here. You know, the grass isn't greener on the other side, it's greener where you water it," which I think that statement can be true in certain times. But, you know, I disagreed with that person who was a big voice in my life at the time. I wrote about it in the book, and I thought, no, my piece is telling me that I'm, you know, meant to go to LA. And I think a lot of times when people are close to us, we can listen to their advice and actually go with it. But listen to people, but then trust your inner voice.
Great. Okay, so yeah, it was bad advice because they were asking you to stay.
They're telling me to stay, and I thought for a second, I was like, maybe I will stay, but no.
Question number 3, what's the biggest lesson you've learned in the last 12 months?
Compromise is a beautiful thing. I think people often hear that word and they think you're selling yourself short. And I think it can be a very beautiful thing.
All right, Raquelle?
Yeah, when you're living a life of integrity, you always sleep peacefully at night.
Wow.
I think I had a lot of moments this past year, like career stuff, different things that happened, or, you know, people say this or they say that. And it's like, no, I know who I am.
I have to say, watching you through that season of life, as a friend, she was so admirable to just see. Anybody that was in that situation could have really crumbled and really, you know, been shaken up by everything that was going on. And it did not. Raquelle, she knows who she is. She knows the person. She knows her character. And she was not like, it was just, it was really cool to see, because you really do, like, I mean, and everything that's in the book, like, you really, this is how we live our life. And it's in those moments when you're faced with these situations that it comes into play, and like, you really were strong.
Question number 4, what's your favorite day each in this book that you can't wait when people get it for them to read? Is there a specific day that, like, out of the 100 days that you both like feel is one of your favorites that you can't wait for people to get to?
I'm a big fan of Catch a Vision. I make vision boards every single year. So I think Catch a Vision is one of my favorites.
Nice.
I can't remember exactly which day it was, but the one on forgiveness.
I wouldn't expect you to remember 100 days. Catch a Vision is day 54. So Catch a Vision is day 54. And then which one was your one?
Forgive.
Forgive someone, 63.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So forgive someone on page 63. Thank you, Jay, for reminding, or for telling us page 63. Day 63. You can't live a life of freedom without being able to forgive. And so I forgive everybody and everything. Sometimes that's a little more of a process. Sometimes it's easy. But it is essential to live a happy life.
Beautiful. All right, 5th and final question for both of you.
We failed on this, by the way. We've been chatting away.
No, but I've been asking. I've been asking. Okay. No. You haven't failed at all. You haven't failed at all. I always get intrigued by answers to these 5, and I ask people to answer them in 1 word or 1 sentence, because then people get really thoughtful, and then you can really get into it. Okay, 5th and final question. If you could create one law that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be?
I mean, I already thought of mine.
Oh, all right.
But it goes along with the book.
That's good.
I would want either no filters or anything on social media, or people, it has to like say what was used on this photo. Do you know what I mean? Because I think as a young girl, you're looking at all these photos and they've been photoshopped and they've been put through so many filters, and you don't see that. So it's like if these platforms would tell you how much work was put in this photo, I think it would relieve a lot of these expectations that we put on ourselves. So I think either removing all those or having like to disclose what you used on your photos and videos.
That is great. We've never had that on the show ever. I love that.
That's a good one, Tanya.
That's brilliant. That's really good, Tanya.
I think because I think that there's a lot that goes into our psyche that we from scrolling that you don't even realize is going into your psyche. That's very problematic. So if it's just all out there, you want to use your whatevers, use them, but just tell people.
I love that one.
Mine would be don't judge. And I heard Maya Angelou, to quote her again, she said something along the lines of, if you are a human being, you could never say of another human being, I would never do that. Because if you were living their life circumstances, if you were in their shoes, you would maybe be capable of the same. Wow. And so I think we have to be very slow to judge each other, and we need to give a lot more love, a lot more compassion.